Hello, Ahmad.
Able to finish that sample?
Hello, Ahmad.
Were you able to finish that sample?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
tried. I tried and it's not working.
What is the reason?
I'm having some errors saying that the class is not found while I imported all the jar file you suggested.
Have you done the first sample in Hibernate, or this is your first sample? Are you talking about?
Yes, my first sample is working correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other one with web, Hibernate with web.
Okay. Have you imported the Servlet API and JSP API also?
Sorry?
Servlet API and JSP API.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
But your voice is too low. Can you speak louder? I can't hear you correctly.
Hello, now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'll see. I have to see your machine. What's trouble with you then?
Okay.
Okay, I'll see your machine at the end of the session, 10 minutes before. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. So I'm opening the document.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will look into the generator class in the Hibernate.
Yes.
So let me open, which we have already done. So in my first sample, if you see employee.htm XML file.
Yes.
I'm talking about my first sample.
Yeah.
So where we used for our model class a Hibernate mapping class.
Yes.
So my employee class, model class has ID, first name, last name.
Yes.
So I'm talking about that. So
Yeah.
here you can see Hibernate mapping. I have created a Hibernate mapping. That is this sample which we started at the beginning without annotations.
Yes. Yes.
I'm talking about that sample. So
All right.
here we have a class, so a model class whose name should be employee 100. In that there is an ID tag, then the properties. Okay.
All right.
Let me execute this. Let me execute this. So here you can see I'm executing this. Yes, object save and the table name is EMP100. First name, last name, ID value. You can see the first name, last name, ID value. These things I have given. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And let me open that in MySQL browser. EMP100, I think.
Yeah.
Table name, yes, EMP100. Yes, data is being inserted, right?
Yeah. Right.
So what is present here is in Hibernate config file, we mentioned it as mapping resource. So that Hibernate configuration object when it is created, it reads this Hibernate config XML file.
Yeah.
And an object is created, configuration object. So during that time, it is aware that there is a mapping resource employee.hvm XML file for model class, this model class.
Okay.
And for this model class, in the Hibernate mapping, you can see ID tag is nothing but the primary key I told you.
Yes.
ID tag.
Yes.
So the ID tag in my table, the column is, that is in my model class, the attribute is ID, whereas the same in my database it should be ID is the primary key.
Yes.
And you can see ID being the column, and you can see here primary key symbol also, right?
Yeah. Right.
That is what ID means. Now, the generator class gave, I gave a value assigned, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you get into my Hibernate test client, so I have done inserting one record. I'll insert another object also, another object.
Okay.
It's a EMP2 and it is, I say 200 and this as 100 and EMP 200, EMP 200, or better say this one as 100, 100, and I'll save two objects. Session.save EMP and EMP2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That means I'm saving two records.
Yes. Yeah.
And let's see the same thing. So I execute this.
And I think you have to change on the second employee.
Second employee what?
Imp2.setId.
Set ID. I have sent 200. I have mentioned.
Is it imp or imp2?
Sorry.
Imp2.
The object of
The
the employee.
object.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. EMP2 it should be. Okay, I just executed, and you can see there are two insert statements executed. And look there what happened. So EMP2, I did not, it does not have any values right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it does not have any values, and you can see here nulls. But whereas with ID, what ID we got? 0.
Yeah.
So what I want to highlight is whenever you do with a generator class in your employee HTML for ID, if the generator class is assigned, then for ID, the Hibernate will use 0 as the value for ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't give a, what is that, ID. If you give, it will take that.
Okay.
Got it? That's what. In my Hibernate test client, when I executed this, I saved the employee record, that is EMP save, with first name 100, last name 100. Okay? And you can see the record. What is that? Which object I saved? EMP2, this two. So my EMP, the observe, another thing. I saved EMP as well as EMP2, right?
Yes, right.
So when I save EMP, so EMP's value are in the database, they are last name,
Okay.
right? So this one is having an impact of this, not this.
Oh,
Got it?
I don't understand why.
Why? Because you can see employee is the reference variable. On this I set this, okay?
Yes.
Again I set this, okay?
Okay.
On the same employee. It means the setter methods are overriding with these new values, right? Setter methods.
Right.
Then these are the recent values in the setter methods, right? With the employee object, EMP.
Yes.
The
Yes.
same EMP when I saved, you can see it is the recent values which inserted.
Oh, okay.
One thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, EMP2 I saved. EMP2. EMP2 is null, right?
Right.
Because I did not set EMP2.
Yeah.
Maybe by mistake I have done. I have to set this EMP2 actually. But still, let
Yeah.
us see the conclusion. I want to show you the conclusion. So when I saved EMP2, which is actually null, right?
Yes.
And you can see for EMP2, observe here, first name, last name are null.
None.
And ID, it is giving 0. Okay?
Okay.
I want to highlight that when you don't provide an ID for the employee object, Hibernate will give an assigned value for the ID for that record row as 0 when you mention generator class as assigned. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am going to my Hibernate test client. I'll mention this as employee 2. Okay.
Yes.
I save this program. And now I am re-executing this. Of course, two insert statements executed. Employee object is saved. And you can see two records are inserted.
Yes.
So when you are mentioning the generator class as assigned, you can give the assigned values to your model class. Those
Yes.
assigned values, that is 100 and 200 as the IDs in my sample.
Yeah.
This one are getting saved. Okay.
Okay.
And there are few more generator classes available in Hibernate that may be supported by various databases. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And here, so the generator sub-element of ID used to generate the unique identifier for the object of the persistent class. So why do we go for generator in this sense? To generate a unique identifier for the objects for our persistent model classes. Okay.
Okay.
There are many generator classes defined in the Hibernate framework. They are, so all the generator classes are implementing arg.hibernate.id identifier generator interface. Okay. This is an interface.
Okay. Okay.
So the application programmer may create one's own generator class by implementing the identifier generator interface also.
Okay.
So the built-in generators that are available. Yes, built-in generators. So you can see assign, increment, sequence, high-low, native, so identity, sequential high-low, UUID, GUID, select, foreign, search identity. Okay. These are the
Okay.
various generator classes that are inbuilt available. Our MySQL may not be supporting all these.
Oh.
These are available in the Hibernate because Hibernate can work with MySQL, can work with Oracle, can work with SQL database. There are n number of databases, right?
Right.
So some databases may be supporting these things and some will not be supporting this. So whatever
Yes.
the database we are using with our database, whatever the things we are available inbuilt, those things we can use. Got it?
Got it.
And you can see here assigned. We are talking about the assigned generator class, which we already used in our sample, right?
Okay.
This thing
Yes.
in our employee HBM XML file,
Yeah.
the generator class, we used it assigned.
Yes.
So that one. So this is the default generator strategy.
Okay.
If there is no generator element, in this case, application assigns the ID. Okay.
Okay.
And the ID would be that is ID would be 0 for your record, okay,
Yes.
which I showed you by example, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Then over there, if you don't give an ID for a second record, then for the second record also Hibernate will give 0 for that.
Yes.
But for a primary key, there should not be two zeros, right?
Yes.
Then it will throw an error, right?
Right.
I'll show you that.
Okay.
In my Hibernate test client. So for the first one, I'll comment this set ID, and for the second one also I'll comment this. Okay,
Okay.
it means the ID value would be given by Hibernate and it would be 0 for the 0 for one record. Okay.
Yes.
For second record also it will try to put a 0 because we use
Zero.
assigned over.
Yeah.
So it will fail, right?
Right.
And I'm executing this. Observe there.
Oh.
Yes. A different object with the same identifier value was already associated with the session. That is 0.
Okay.
The first one it will take. For the second one it is throwing error. And here I execute. So you can see nothing data is posted into the EMP100 table because it is
Yes.
failing.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I highlighted. Now I'll go to employee HBM XML file. So with this generator class, I'll use another generator class which is present as increment. Okay.
Okay.
So the generators, it generates the unique ID only if no other process is inserting the data into the table. I mean to say, we can insert the primary key values for our records. One thing.
Okay.
So if we are not inserting, then Hibernate will generate the primary key values with this increment. Okay.
Okay.
It generates a short, int, or long type of identifier. And the first generated identifier is 1 normally, and it will be incremented by 1. Okay.
Okay.
You can see I gave a values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It like this it goes on. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am giving increment here. Increment. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am going back to my Hibernate test client and
Yeah.
observe if you are giving some assigned values like set ID 100, set ID 200, because we are giving it will take. Okay.
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 Yeah.
You can see 2 records, right? 2 records.
Right.
And you can see those 2 records getting inserted. Okay.
Okay.
Now with the same, I'll say employee 3. Okay. 3, and it is 300, and this is 300, 300, and employee save 300. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. With this setting the employee ID, I will deliberately skip. Okay.
Okay.
Now observe. Yes. 3 insert statements are executed.
Yeah.
Employee object save and go to over there. You can see the first employee object, that is first name, last name. Okay.
Okay.
Second, first name, last name. Okay.
Okay.
And third, you can see third, it is generating
Now.
the employee, I'm sorry, ID as 3. And what happened to my first name, last name? Yes. Yep. Okay.
It took the 300.
Yes, 3. No, not 300. Its ID is 3. Okay, okay. For 100 and 300 are inserted. 100 and 300. So 100, 100. This record and this record is inserted. This record is inserted. When it comes to 2, this record we did not see, we did not observe. So, what is happening here? My 200 record.
So you did the same error. You took the object EMP3.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I should change it to 3, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm wondering, it has to be the first name, last name.
Mm-hmm.
But ID value should be generated by Hibernate, actually, right? I was expecting
Right.
that. And I gave ENP3 and I should have modified this also. Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, I'll do this again. Okay. Okay, 3 insert statements executed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And let us execute this. Got it?
Got it.
Right? Now,
Right.
now if you observe, for employee 3, I did not set the value.
Yes.
And here you can see for employee set ID 100 I said, set ID 200 I said. But
Yes.
what are the IDs here?
1, 2, 3.
So these 1, 2, 3s are giving priority. When you mention however employee SBM XML file as increment, okay, it will not take your value.
Okay.
It is taking the database generated incremented value. Got it?
Yes.
So I'll add this point here. So I'll have it here. If we assign the key values, they will not be inserted. Instead, the increment generator class has the priority over there. That is not happening, right?
Right.
I'll highlight this.
Yeah.
So we are telling database to generate. Increment means database will take care of that. So Hibernate is going to generate the ID values because we mentioned in mapping that the generator class should be increment.
Yes.
And we are trying to override that by giving our own values.
Yes.
So in that case, the increment class would be having priority, right?
Right.
Right. Now, so there is sequence. Okay.
Okay.
Sequence. So this uses the sequence of the database. So
Okay.
some databases will support sequence object. Maybe Oracle database. If you are familiar with Oracle database, or in Oracle database there is a sequence object, right, to generate
Right.
sequence number, right?
Yes. Right.
So if there is no sequence identified, it creates a sequence automatically. Okay.
Okay.
For those databases which support sequence.
Okay.
And so in case of Oracle database, it creates a sequence named. What sequence it creates? Hibernate sequence.
Okay.
I'm talking about Oracle database. Okay.
Okay.
And with MySQL it will not work. Okay. It will throw an error. I'll show you the same thing if I mention as I'm commenting that and I am mentioning here sequence. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm executing this. And you can see here,
Yeah.
could not instantiate ID generator
Yeah.
because MySQL does not support that.
Okay.
That's what I highlighted over there.
Yes.
And so will not work with MySQL. Okay.
Okay.
Then so here, so high low. So it uses the high low algorithm to generate the ID values. Okay.
Okay.
This would be the ID value would be of type short, integer, long.
Long.
And you can see I mentioned high low now. Okay.
Okay.
In my HBM XML file, uh, employee HBM XML file, I'll copy this, comment this, and here I'll mention high low.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, with my Hibernate test client, so I'm inserting 3 records. Okay, here let me uncomment this. So I'm setting the IDs. Okay, I'm setting the
Okay.
IDs. And I'm inserting these 3 model classes into model that is a database table. And I'm executing this. I save this. Yes, observe there 3 insert statements are executed.
Okay.
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 And yes, you can see here the data is inserted and it is 1, 2, 3. The IDs are 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
So high-low also would be working like the thing which we already done with increment, right?
Okay.
So I'll mention here. This is similar to not what is it? Increment.
Increment.
Increment. And so the ID values equals to 1, 2, 3, and so on. Yeah. And this high-low will work with our MySQL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And native, the other one. So it uses the identity, sequence, or high-low depending upon the database. So let me try with native. Okay.
Okay.
I'll go to Hibernate XML file and I'll copy this and comment this and I'll try with native. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm executing this. And another thing I want to highlight here with this high-low, what happened is uh, if we assign the primary key value, hilo is given preference, right?
Right.
Right. I am highlighting that point also. It's very important. Done. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Fine. Right. Native. I am talking about native, right?
Right.
I am done that native, and I am executing my Hibernate test flight.
Okay.
Okay. It is inserting the data. Okay.
Okay.
So it is inserting the data, and let me check the data. And it is similar to the hilo. So if the database is supporting hilo or sequence or identity, this native will take accordingly. My MySQL database is supporting native. What is that? Supporting identity. What is it? Where is that? Native. So my MySQL database is supporting hilo with my previous sample, right?
Right.
So when you mention as native, the generator class as native, so some databases may be supporting identity, Oracle database supports sequence, so MySQL database supports hilo. So when you say native, whatever the database is supporting among these, that would be highlighted, that would be executed. Okay.
Okay.
Then the similar, the thing is the same thing. ID values are executed or given in this way,
Mm. Yes.
right? And you
Right.
can see the primary key values which I gave are overridden by the Hibernate's ID, right?
Right.
That's what I highlighted both the things here, okay?
Okay.
Native in the sense, whatever the database you are using, the database related things, okay?
Yes. Okay.
Identity. So here, identity. So ID should have a default value. Okay, let me. It is used in Sybase, MySQL, MS SQL Server, DB2, and some hypersonic SQL to support the ID column. So the return ID is of type maybe short or int or long. Okay,
Okay.
I mention it as identity now. In my Hibernate HTML file,
Yes.
I'll copy this, comment it, and put here. Yes, identity and identity. Okay,
Okay.
Hibernate test client. I'm running. Okay, got it.
Okay. Got it.
Objects are saved. Objects are saved, and let me show you what data it has given. Yes, MySQL database also supports this identity object where it is giving the ID is 123 like sequence. Okay,
Okay.
and I'll copy these things, and you can see our assigned values are not working with this, right?
Okay.
I'm highlighting that point also here. Okay,
Okay.
likewise sequence hilo. So it uses the high and low algorithm on the specified sequence name. So the return ID may be of type short int long. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll give this generator class as sequence hilo now. Okay,
Okay.
I'll copy this. Sequence ILO. Spelling, let me check. SEQI. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm running my Hibernate test client again. Yes. Could not instantiate ID generator. So
Yeah.
the MySQL database does not support this.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'll write. So MySQL. So it will throw an exception. Okay.
Okay.
And let us check with the UUID. Okay.
Okay.
So it uses 128-bit UUID, universal unique ID, I believe. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the return ID may be of type string and unique within a network, because the IP address is used here internally. So the UUID is representing an hexadecimal digit, okay, 32 length. So let me check whether this is supported by our MySQL or not. Okay, in Hibernate XML file, I'll copy this, comment it, and here I'll go UUID, okay,
Okay.
and I'm running my Hibernate test client. And previously it was an exception, right?
Right.
Yes. And what's that? I'm executing this. I mentioned UUID, okay, and I'm executing the Hibernate test client.
This client.
So illegal argument exception occurred while calling the setter method employee ID. Argument type mismatch. Okay.
Yeah. Should be
So
a string.
string, uh, let me make a try with a string. Okay.
Yes.
I say it is string alone, and I need to generate setters and getters for this, right?
Yes.
Done.
Done.
And this get ID, I comment it. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. And here this set ID, uh, ID, it's a string, right? It's a string, right?
Yes.
I'll put that in a string. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Right. And then now I'm executing this. Okay.
Okay.
could not generate the ID for the class Hibernate, and I will comment this set ID which I am giving explicitly.
Okay.
We will check whether Hibernate is going to generate that ID. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Could not find a getter ID for the class. Of course, I believe there is a getter in my employee XML. Let me check employee XML. Oh, string. Let me check. So, sorry, the setters and getters did not generate. I mean, I opened that generate setters and getters, and I did not press OK button over there. I simply went back. Okay.
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 I generated. Now I am executing this. Okay. I will
Okay.
execute with my values first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Values are being inserted. Okay. And observe that the hexadecimal code is being generated. Right.
Okay.
So I'll highlight the points here. So what we have observed is MySQL support this. One. Second is it will give a hexadecimal code. Code for the P key value, right?
Right.
Third is special. If we mention our primary key values, they are overwritten, or better say, they are not given priority. Hibernate's what is this UUID generator class is given priority, right?
Right.
Here identity, I copy paste statement identity, right?
Right.
And we are native, right?
Yeah. Right.
Now we will check the GUID, okay?
Okay.
So GUID generated by database of type string. Now I want to highlight here the ID
Yeah.
should be string type.
Green. Yeah.
And with my GUID also the ID should be string, right?
Right.
So I'll just go to Hibernate XML file and copy this, comment it, mention here, and I give GUID here. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm running my Hibernate class test client. Okay.
Hello.
And I'm showing you the data in this.
Okay.
As you can see, it is also giving the hexadecimal code, right?
Okay. Right.
So I'll highlight these 3 points itself, right? Which we have just seen with the,
Okay.
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 And select. So I'll try with
Yeah.
select. So to try with select, I want to change my ID to integer.
Yeah.
The traditional one. And this I'll comment. And my
Okay.
this I'll remove. Okay.
Okay.
Why this error? String. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I have get ID, set ID,
Set ID.
set first name, something is missing. We are generating letter first name.
Yeah.
Yes. Now done. Okay. I am back to the previous thing. And here they are not strings.
Okay.
Done. Now Hibernate employee GUID we have done. And I was select, right? Select.
Yeah.
I am mentioning select. So what the select does, it uses the primary key written by the database trigger. So there may be a trigger which would be firing upon your insert statement, right?
Right.
We don't have any trigger here.
Oh.
And in my Hibernate test client, I am trying to insert the data. Okay.
Okay.
So no natural ID property defined. Need to specify a key in the generator parameters. So here we don't have any trigger, so it is not getting executed. So the primary key values can be generated with the triggers also.
Okay.
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 For this you have to go for it. So that's what it is highlighted here. Database trigger.
Okay.
Then foreign. So it is used. It uses the ID of another associated object, mostly used with one-to-one association generally.
Uh,
We have not come across one-to-one associations as of now, so this will not work.
yeah.
We will see that one-to-one associations, that one-to-one, one-to-many, those relationships in our upcoming session.
Yes.
So sequence identity, it uses a special sequence generation strategy, and it is supported by Oracle 10G driver only.
Yeah.
So with MySQL it will not work for sure.
Yes.
So I'm not executing that. So
Yeah.
here my Word file talks about the various generator classes that are available with Hibernate. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to execute this sample. Now I will make you the presenter
Okay.
and tell me what is the trouble you are facing with the application yesterday sample. May I know is it
Okay.
M or DOS?
Those.
Yes, I made you presenter just now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm downloading.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
Last time, one of you asked about that. What is it? JUnit test case was not running, right?
Yeah.
The problem is with the code present in that JUnit test case. So you can use the code. Yes, this one.
You
Yes,
see my okay.
yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah. I used both using the controller servlet and the GSP
Uh,
directly. Yeah.
Show me the
First
error
of
message.
all, the error message is
Content from the bean set, then DAO. Good, good. On DAO, some register method, add user details, very good. And response and redirect. Why you are using send redirect over there?
using the success. Yeah.
Server encountered an internal error that prevented it from fulfilling the request. No class definition found. Which class definition? Show me. Error message, error message.
Yeah.
No class definition, hibernate exception. Scroll down. Scroll down, scroll down. Hibernate exception. Get onto the console. Show me the exception messages on console. Maximize the console.
Yeah.
On the console, you slowly scroll up. On the console, you scroll up. Wait.
Yeah.
Hibernate web demo 2 through exception. Servlet execution. Through an exception with okay. Scroll right. Yes, scroll right.
Okay.
Servlet execution through an exception with root cause. Now left. Left side.
Yeah.
Okay. First, let me see your code. Okay, controller class. Show me your controller class and user behavior class. Then show me your controller first.
Yeah. Okay.
So instead of send redirect, you better go for forward over there.
Forward. Okay.
Request dispatcher forward those things. Okay.
Yes.
You comment that response.send redirect as of now. Okay, user DAO add details. Spelling.
Oh.
Request.get request dispatcher. With send redirect, it goes for a new request. Sometimes the data that is associated with the first request will not be available with the send redirect. So I asked you to use forward. Okay.
Okay.
Now go to your DAO, add user details method. Select that method. Add user details method. Select.
Yeah, this is it.
Still I cannot see. You select that method. Add user details. Okay, we directly went there. I thought of telling you. Okay, configuration, configure. With configure, okay, and where is your Hibernate CFG XML and user being HBM XML. They are in the source. Are they in the source? Open your user being HBM XML file or configure file.
My login.
Source. Okay.
User being XML. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Property.
I rename with columns and
And what about your Hibernate config HBM DD2 DDL?
have it.
Hibernate configuration. Hibernate configuration.
Yeah.
Hibernate configuration.
Yeah, I get it.
Scroll down. Driver. Okay, you said to create. Okay. And mapping resource also you are done.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I believe that may be an API related thing then. So SQL. Okay. SQL alert, MySQL alert. Okay, everything is good. And copy that exception message thrown by Hibernate on console. It is
Yeah.
Hibernate exception. It is telling something, right? Try to Google up
Yeah.
that error message. want you to copy that Hibernate exception. So right,
Yeah.
so right on the console. Okay. Open Google. Paste there. Yes, you can choose the first one.
They're saying
Down, 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 down. Yeah, using PostgreSQL. Down.
that's all.
Hibernate 3 jar file. I think it is. Is that available? Hibernate 3.
Yeah, I have it. I have it in my package here. In my library, I created. Yeah.
No. Hibernate 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Show me your library. Libraries. In package Project Explorer. Down your project. Yes. Hibernate 3. Yes, we have.
It is. Yeah.
Java, Asus, Google.
I even added more things uh to see if it will be an issue of that this
Which
one
one?
and this one. This ASM
ASM.
touch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Attributes.
but it
Okay.
didn't work. Yeah. Yeah.
Try to find another suggestion on Google from other forums.
Oh, let me see again another system. Mm,
Back, back button.
okay. Yeah, they are just saying about the web INF lead. I don't know if you have.
We have configured it external jar site in a library. Either you can mention that jar files in lib, copy paste, or we can use that as the library which we have been using. Both are valid.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
This Hibernate exception is actually related to Hibernate API. Why this is
Mm,
not available to you? Okay, you send me the war file. I'll fix it.
okay. Okay.
I'll fix it tomorrow because today I'll be moving to my home location. And
Okay.
tomorrow we'll meet. And we shall continue our sessions further tomorrow morning, same time. Okay?
Okay. How can I send it to you?
Okay. How have you been receiving the documents?
On the Google Drive. Okay.
Yes, on the Google Drive you can upload your documents also, I guess. You just get in touch with Mike regarding this.
Okay. Good.
Fine, right?
All right.
Then I'll close my session as of now, and we shall see
Yeah.
tomorrow at 5 a.m. IST. Okay?
Excuse me, Hamid.
Yes.
We were talking about the J unit error.
Yes, I sent you that on chat window. You can see
Where? No.
on chat window. Go to meeting.
Okay.
You can copy that. Use that code. There is a
Okay.
problem with the code that is given in that reverse string.
All right.
Use this code, it will work. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, I am closing my session then.
Okay.
Fine. Have a nice day. We shall meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You too.
Thank you.